When you're designing a game, specifically a video game, there's always two things you want to do. You want to entertain the player, but you also want to immerse them. But you also want to get some of that pussy. Immersion is the act of transporting the player into your world. That feeling when you've lost all concept of time outside of that screen, and you're just fully enveloped into the game. Immersion can be achieved in a ton of different ways. The most common is with the help of polish. Polish is the act of adding some of that small shit to make the game feel more alive. Spiderman for the PS4, you got fucking particle effects at certain speeds to really emphasize that momentum behind you. It doesn't just feel like Spider-Man, alright, IGN, you fucking pussies. Well, what if you're not doing some web shit and you just want to say hi to the peeps of New York? Well, even down on the streets, the developers have shit you can do and attention to detail to make the place seem more alive. You can interact with the people and they'll gather up around you at the fact that it's a fucking man in spandex. Whoa! You can press square to finger gun, which, by the way, is a little nod to Spider-Man 3. There's rats on the streets, no shoes on the baby's feet. What the fuck? This game is chock full, not only of references to other parts of the Spider-Verse, but also just really good attention to detail at crafting New York in the most finest of detail, and perhaps our best depiction of it yet. But remember, this is just an example of polish. It doesn't really explain how it immerses the player, so let's just do that for now. When you have polish, what you're doing is world building. The more thought out and developed your world is, the easier it'll be to trick the player into believing this place and being sucked into your creation. Of course, polish isn't the only thing you can do to immerse the player. So for part 1, yes, part 1, you heard that right. This is going to be a fucking series. We're going to be talking about games with polish and how its polish helps immerse the player. Or something like that. No, I'm just spitting this shit out as I go. Polished games can be added not only as world building, it can also be added as a means to make shit feel real good. There's not a real clear definition of what game feel is, which we're talking about, by the way. But it's that shit that makes your game feel a lot better than it would be without it. The most common example of game feel is when your controller vibrates. This can work for any game, and it's helping you immerse it in the world by mapping the vibration to appropriate features in your game. You know, like shooting your gun, do the bing bang bop. Games that are really good at this shit are platformers, specifically 2D platformers. Mario is the fucking king of this shit. You got the jump sounds, you got the with the fucking shells. You have the enemies do little dances to the fucking music in Mario Bros. The new one, of course. You got that fucking when you go down a pipe, or the when you get a mush or a flower. This fucking shit is everywhere. You also got something like Call of Duty. Now, you can hate on this game all you want, and that's a given. Call of Duty does some really fucking stupid things, but you will never get me to say it does not have some amazing game feel. I don't think this game would be nearly as fun without all of the polish they've put into the formula. So, Call of Duty has a lot of sounds, and a lot of these sounds are really fucking important. Hitting an enemy is probably the most satisfying of these sounds, not only because you are told clearly you hit an enemy with a, you know, like a little, but you also get a little X on the screen in case you didn't hear that. It's also a super fucking satisfying sound that sounds like a gamer's paradise when you get a shitload of kills in a row. Not only does the sound of hitting sound like a fucking oven going off with some cake inside, what about the shit you're hitting with? The guns. Now, when you're making a shooter, the most important thing you can do is make the guns feel good. Don't have some fucking pea shooter. You want that shit loud. You want it hard, you know, like a pea. You want it to sound like you're shooting a spitball at Jesus. You want that shit to go. And don't just stop there. Make that muzzle flash, dude. Make that shit look like the 4th of July in your gun. Call of Duty, as far as I'm concerned, is the fucking king of that shit. They take all of those ingredients and turn into an explosive cake. that you might not want to eat. I'm pretty sure that's poisonous. Not only that, but Call of Duty knows how to handle vibration too, which is very important when you're playing a console shooter. It's one of the best ways you can immerse the player in the world you've made. The most you can do other than that is to give the player a gun, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal, so we're gonna have to take a hard pass on that. Okay, so we've covered both polish and game feel, two key thingies to immerse a player into a game. So what's a game that doubles down on both of these, providing not only some dope polish to fill in on that world building, but also some game feel to make that shit feel good. Well, how about we take a step away from the big boys for a bit to check in on this indie title by my favorite indie company, Devolver Digital. Of course, I'm talking about your boy, Enter the Gungeon. This game's whole theme is guns. So of course, they make everything in the game guns and bullets. The enemies are bullets, and when you kill them, they drop little bullet-shaped coins out of their bullet-shaped wallets so that you can buy health, which may or may not be shaped like a fucking bullet. The elevator is in fact a giant shell to ride into, and even the fucking bats are bullets that shoot themselves at you. Everything is a gun. Everything. There's a T-shit cannon. Did I misspell t-shirt? Oopsie doopsie. A fucking minigun, a crown, the alphabet. As many ideas as they had to make into a gun, it was gonna be a fucking gun. The first gun you shoot in the tutorial is called the pea shooter. And it's called that for a fucking reason. Game feel is booming in this game, pumping that shit to the max. Whenever you shoot, depending on the size of the gun, the screen will shake and the bullets are fucking huge and sound like everything was born from the Deagle in Counter-Strike. And anyone who knows Counter-Strike knows that's like saying you sound like fucking Rihanna and Celine Dion had a kid and that kid started to sing. That's what your guns sound like. The sound effects are really boomy to reconcile the fact that everything is a gun and gives great feedback on what's happening. A little dust trail follows you everywhere you go, which is a bit of a hybrid between polish and game feel, which is, you know, good because these two kind of support each other. All in all, this game is like God's sacred touch going through your body and making you feel nothing but happiness. This game is the fucking shit. So what did we learn from this video? Don't give Nolan the ability to talk about a broad ass topic like this, because then he'll make a fucking mini series on it. Hope you guys liked this video, as well as the music. I know I did. Fucking loved it. The song, as well as the one you heard at the start of the video, was made by a friend of mine. He's super talented and is the fucking bomb. He's really funny. He makes a lot more music, and I'm hoping I can work with him in the future. He has a SoundCloud called Not Vantic. That's VANTIK. Just in case, I'll put it in the description below as well as on the screen for all you beauties to see. I was really hyped to make this video, and I've wanted to make it for a good while now. Ever since like the fucking Journey video, I've been like, I should make a video on this. That would be really fun. I just didn't know how to go about it, but I mean, here we are, you know? Fucking, if you like this video, make sure to sneeze on that like button, and then clean it off, because that's gross, and we're kind of, not in a good place to sneeze on shit. Also consider subscribing. It helps us grow, and I can keep making videos like these for you lovely lovelies. Share it with a friend, yada yada. Okay, I love you guys. Bye bye. Bye.